Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this very fancy, very first edition of Yoli Nation Live. We're using a new platform tonight, so bear with us if there's a little bit of a delay. First off, I want to welcome everyone that's new here. I'm Shar. I'm the marketing director at Yoli, and we just appreciate you jumping on our very special call this evening. So we are doing a transformation challenge, as you may or may not know, and it's all about moving your body for the next 2 weeks. So last week we started the challenge about move your body, and we have some very special guests on tonight. And before I introduce them, I wanted to talk a little bit about why we chose this challenge during this time and what you have to look forward to for some of the prizes. So at Yoli, we're all about transformation, both physically, mentally, and then financially if you choose to share Yoli. And we have a lot of different ways that can help you in your life. And one of my favorites is the physical transformation. Many of you are just getting back to a somewhat normal state, whether that might be getting back into a healthy routine, maybe slowly going back to work. It depends on where you live, right? Everyone is different during this time. And so we chose to do this transformation challenge to meet you where you are. And so we're calling it Yoli from Home. And we want to see what you're doing to move your body and create some healthy habits in the next 2 weeks. So as you know, last week we introduced the challenge and we had so many awesome participations on that main Facebook page there at Yoli Better Body, right where we are now. And I want to congratulate the winners. We announced 3 winners for last week, and they all won a transformation kit, which is really exciting. Congratulations. So we have Gretchen Knobloch, Melba Bausen Laxamana. I'm so sorry if I just butchered that name. And then Julie Schul. So congratulations to Gretchen, Melba, and Julie. You won last week's prize for a transformation kit. So congratulations. So to continue with this Move Your Body challenge, this week we have a fun little challenge that's all about push-ups. So push-ups you can do from anywhere, and we want to see your 10 push-ups or equivalent, so you can definitely alter those push-ups, whether it be on a couch, and I'm sure one of our guests has some tips for us on this, but we'd love to see you post a video or a photo on that main Facebook page at Yoli Better Body to see how you're giving us those 10. So super exciting. We're going to continue this challenge, and it's, again, all about moving your body. So why is moving your body so important? Well, exercise and movement are more important now than ever for our mental health as well as our physical health. So we're in week 2. We're going to focus on movement, and we'd love to hear about what inspires you to move and how you feel when you do. So super excited about that. As you know, last week we offered a spot promo on one of our very popular products, Passion. So if you're just learning what Yoli's all about, we have an amazing product called Passion that gives you the energy that you need, that's clean energy without the crash of coffee and other stimulants. It's so super clean, super great. So congratulations if you took advantage of our 15% off sale on the Passion last week. And this week, I'm very happy to announce that we have another spot promotion, and we are offering 15% off of ThermoBurn. So many of you love this product. It's actually the same formula that's in our Passion. It's in capsule form. So it stimulates your metabolic activity and it promotes endurance and stamina. So I love to take ThermoBurn just for an extra boost of energy. And again, it's without the crash. So make sure to take advantage of that 15% off this week as we continue with this Move Your Body challenge. So just to recap, one lucky winner is going to win $3,000 gift certificate to Peloton. They're going to win a huge Yoli product bundle as well as some other goodies. So we encourage you. Thank you for signing the pledge. If you haven't already, you can follow along still with the challenges. And we'll be in touch on the Facebook page with more tips and tricks this week. So that's all I have for announcements. I just want to welcome everyone as you start coming in. And if you're new here, welcome. Yoli is all about transformations and meeting you where you are. So we have 3 very special guests tonight. And I'm going to start with a woman who is amazing at inspiring others in her community. She is a multitasker like a gangster. She's one of my favorite people to follow on Instagram just because she's so inspiring. And it's not because she's perfect, it's because she's being real and she's really sharing what it's all about to be active and also have a bunch of other things going on, right? So we all have jobs, we have families, we're trying to be healthy as much as possible. And she inspires me a lot. Her name is Angie Baumeister, And I'm really excited. She's a diamond distributor with Yoli. And she's going to join us and talk a little bit about what it means to her to incorporate some movement and how she feels doing that and giving us some little tips and tricks. So Angie, go ahead and jump in here. Can't wait to hear what you have for us today.
Hi, guys. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to be a part of this, because I just know that this is one more way that I can inspire at least one person to simply just take control of their health. And so, as Charlene said, my name is Angie Baumeister. I live in Carroll, Iowa, small little town where I was born and raised, and I'm proud to be a part of this community. I'm a wife to an amazing husband, Bart, who supports me in all my crazy endeavors and puts up with my craziness. I have a beautiful 25-year-old daughter named Alex, who she's amazing. She is amazing, and she's probably my one person that I always try to inspire to be her best. And I'm a salon owner, I'm a hairdresser, and I'm a Yoli addict. And so I will say, you guys, that I have been supplementing and into health and wellness for around 23 years, if I really think about it and go back to the day where I said yes to supplements. And I was with a company sort of like this in a way that I had some friends that were doing it, and I thought, well, why not? And I was in my 20s, and to back up a little bit, I'm going to proudly say my age. I'm 43, and I feel better now than what I did in my 20s. So that's why I do want to bring that up. But, as one of those, I've always supplemented. I've been into health and wellness, and I hate to say it, but I think way back when I look back, because I've always thought, what made me start being into health and wellness? And it's not that, I have an amazing family, but none of them are as crazy into health as I am. And they probably all think I'm crazy because of what I do. And I think it was because I think it was my outside appearance. I think I've always just wanted to be skinny. And I hate even admitting that, you guys, but I truly feel that's why I did. And so, supplementing, I'm working out, and I'm going to kind of back up a little bit on that too, because working out, I thought, how did I get into working out? I really don't know, but I think it was just taking the little baby steps of maybe starting to go on walks, joining fitness classes, started to join some gyms. And that's where I truly just got a taste and a feel of what it felt like. And so I want you guys to think and vision of a time in your life where something just made you feel really good. Okay, so go back to that time in that moment where you just felt good and hold on to that moment, because that's what I have to do every single day in order to get me going and get me moving. And so 7 years ago, I was introduced to Yoli and from my girlfriend, Linda. And it was one of those that she kept having me try to taste these products and try these products. And I did tell her no for about 6 months or so, because I had my own thing and I didn't feel I needed Yoli. And I was a big coffee drinker. I drank an occasional Diet Pepsi. And I hate to admit this, I would drink those nasty energy drinks because as a salon owner and a hairdresser, I had busy 10-hour days at the salon. And so it was one day Linda was in my chair and I went to go get my coffee, and she started talking about the acidity of coffee and how it is bad for you. And she had a sample of our all natural energy drink Passion. And I was like, fine, I'll drink it. And I loved what it did for me that day. The mental clarity, the focus, got rid of my brain fog. And I was like, okay, there's something to be said about this. And so I went home that night and I started researching the products. And I thought, wow, this seems way too good to be true, because I was quickly discovering it was all natural. And that's also when I had my aha moment that the products I was currently taking were full of chemicals and fake sugars. And so that's one thing I want you guys to think about, is that here I'm trying to be healthy and I'm working out and I'm thinking I'm eating my best, but yet I'm substituting and supplementing with chemicals and fake sugars. Does that even make sense? So I called Linda the next day and I said, all right, hook me up with one of your 28-day transformation kits. And that's when I quickly, in a few days, truly fell in love with these products, you guys. I really thought I was healthy and I thought I didn't need Yoli. And so I'm very blessed and grateful to say that Yoli found me, and thanks to Linda. But it really just brought my health and wellness to a whole other level. Just the energy I had, my digestive tract got back on track, my emotional transformation. You guys, when you start to truly feel good, it's the emotional transformation for me is just, it's powerful. And until you know how good your body is designed to feel, you have no idea. And so I just really fell in love with these products and started utilizing them with my everyday living, my everyday life, my working out. And so I can remember talking with my trainer, Tony Warnemont, who owns a gym here in Carroll, Platinum Fitness, because my shoulders always had this really bad shoulder burn from my physical job of being a hairdresser. And so I jokingly would always threaten Tony's life that I'm like, you mess with my shoulders and I can't do hair, I'm going to kill you. And so for the longest time, I could never do any upper body workout. I could never do any push-ups, pull-ups, things that I love to do, because heaven forbid I hurt my shoulders any more than what they already did. So as I was continuing on of getting rid of the lactic acid in my body, the pH balancing that we offer, my pains, my aches and pains started going away. And so we slowly started introducing push-ups and pull-ups and whatnot into the gym. And I can remember Tony always being like, how's your shoulders? Because he remembered how I threatened him. But I'm like, they're fine. They don't hurt anymore. And so I started hitting personal records at the gym. And that's one thing that I love, is at the gym that I am a part of here in Carroll, Yoli is their main supplement. And it's because we can proudly stand behind these products that we put in our body, that they're clean, and that they just make you feel good. And so, you know, I love the fact of I now have a pre-workout called Passion. While I'm working out, I drink a drink called Fun. It replaces Powerades and Gatorades. And, you know, I joke around whenever I see somebody drinking a blue Gatorade, I'm like, you know, there's no blueberries in that Gatorade, right? And so I love that we have a pre-workout, a drink to drink while you're working out. And then my post-workout is our Yes protein shakes, Pure Whey protein shakes that taste good. I promise you guys this. I've drank protein shakes for 23 years, and I always feel like you have to mix something in them to make them taste good. And with our shakes, you don't. The best part I love about our shakes is that they're called happy shakes. They raise your serotonin levels. And so my husband, Bart, I'm sure you guys can all ask, he knows when I haven't been drinking my shakes. And so I just love the fact that I've been able to replace what I was drinking with Yoli. And so, and be able to eat like good complex carbs, good healthy fats, proteins, fruits, vegetables. I can eat food that I love along with this lifestyle that I'm on. It's not a diet. It is not a quick fix. it is something that it is a health gain system with a side effect of weight loss. And so being able to incorporate it into my busy life, I'm like I said, a salon owner. And I know, you guys, when you don't feel good, because I've been there, done that, um, it's hard to operate. It's hard to operate at your full capacity. And I have people that rely on me. I've got a phenomenal team at Ahead of the Times here in Carroll that rely on me to be my best physically and mentally. My husband, my daughter, my friends, my family. And once you truly grasp what it feels like to feel good, like I said, emotionally, and knowing that people are relying on you, you just don't want to go back to feeling good. And so, when I go to the gym or when I wake up early, because I've got, like I said, busy hours at the salon. And so I do know I have to go to bed at an early time. Sleep is so important. I've tried running on 4 or 5, 6 hours of sleep, and it is impossible to do. I don't perform at my best physically and emotionally. And so I time it out at night, whatever time I have to get up in the morning to go to work. I go to bed at a certain time to truly try to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, and getting up early in the morning to go to the gym. So I'm telling you, and I'm going to be real with you, like Sherilyn said, I don't wake up and I'm like, yay, let's go to the gym. I'm all excited. It's the remembering of how good I'm going to feel afterwards. It's that after feeling you get after you work out, you release those happy endorphins. I have so much more energy throughout the day. And so I do, you guys. It's like, all right, it probably takes me about a good half hour and 45 minutes to get up and get going and mentally prepare myself for the gym. And so I do have an app that I follow that has my daily workout. So I know what I'm doing prior going to the gym. And once I get there, though, I am in my zone. I am mentally focused. And because I always say to myself, I'm like, why am I going to waste time at the gym to not actually perform at my best at the gym to get the results that I want? And so if I am spending 45 minutes at the gym, I'm going to get out of it what I want out of it. And so it's just a good feeling. And so I get home, and then I hit my 8 to 10 hour days at the salon. And am I tired when I get home at night? Heck yeah, I am. But I'll tell you, I know, though, the next day I'm going to get up and repeat. And so if you are just starting out, like I said, go back to a time where something just made you feel really good, and know that that's possible, and know that you can do that again. Just walking around the block, like I said, I would love to help out in any way possible. Reach out to me. It's what I enjoy doing. I always kind of say to myself at the end of the day, if I've inspired one person, then my job is done. This, you guys, this really has nothing to do with me, but everything to do with you guys. I feel good, and I want everyone else to experience what I'm feeling. And so I've got my challenges that mentally I prepare myself. Thanks to being a part of this amazing company, I've been introduced to personal development. And so I do have role models. I do have people who inspire me, who motivate me every single day. And it's the people that I'm listening to. And I always kind of think, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And why not me? And so I want you guys to also know that you guys are no different than me. It's just a feeling of physically and emotionally feeling good that I've latched onto and that I don't want to let go. And so my husband and I kind of always say that we want to grow old together, feeling young. I've had quite a few people in my life pass away to sickness and disease, and knowing that if I'm in control of that, then I'm going to do that. And so just know that you guys are worth it. Know that you've been given one life, one body. It's the only place you have to live, and to just take care of it. And so I'm asking you guys tonight to just start with baby steps. Start with one thing to start making you feel better. Know your ingredients. Know that you're worth it. And like I said, if I can do it, you can too. And so Sherilyn, thank you so much for having me on tonight's call. Love being a part of this company. We are so much more than products, and the support. I guess I almost forgot about that. The support that we have, you guys, is huge. We just don't hand you a box of products and say, here you go. We actually have a family that will walk through you and walk with you every single day to make sure that you're getting the success that you deserve. And so, like I said, Charlene, thanks for having me on tonight. This has been fun.
Oh, man, thank you. Thank you so much, Angie. We really appreciated hearing how our products help support you in your everyday life, and also just little stories about how you first got started. That's really nice to hear. You don't just, wake up one day and, well, maybe you do actually. Maybe you do wake up one morning and you say, okay, that's it. I'm going to train to be like Tony, who I'm going to introduce in just a minute. I'm going to run a marathon in, 3 months. Wherever your goals are, that's perfect. That's exactly where you need to be. You don't have to compare yourself to other people. And it's really easy to do. I know personally, a lot of people I used to follow on Instagram or Facebook or social media. I found myself feeling like crap, like not inspired, but feeling not good enough. And that isn't on them, right? It's on us to make ourselves feel differently. However, I noticed when I started surrounding myself with people that inspire me on just a very basic level, that's when I started to be truly inspired. And so Angie's totally right. Here at Yoli, we have a huge community who will support you no matter where you're starting from. And it could be that you're walking once a day. It could be that you're running a marathon every week. So it just depends on where you are. But there is a transformation for you here at Yoli. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about, the common questions that people ask. I'd like for you, as our guests continue to come on, to ask those questions below in the comments. If there's something that you want to throw out, or if you just want to share something, feel free to do that in the comments below. And I also want to hear from you. Do you currently have a daily fitness routine that you follow? So be honest. You can say, no, I'm kind of out of it right now. Or you can say, whatever you'd like that's going on in your own personal life right now. But comment below with, do you currently have a daily fitness routine, whether that's walking, going to the gym? And we'll get to questions as we go through this broadcast. So our next guest is Tony Gonzalez. Many of you know him as Runaround Tony. He's always moving. He's always doing incredible things to motivate and inspire our Yoli community. But just like many of you, he had to start somewhere, right? And I'd love for you to get to know Tony and his amazing positive energy that he brings. So without further ado, I'm going to throw it over to Tony, and he's also going to share a little bit about movement and what that looks like for him. Now, so just want to make sure that he knows that he's muted, and we'll just need to have him unmute yourself, Tony.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? I think we're good now. I had it on mute. Thank you, Sean, for that. Again, my name is Tony Gonzalez. I'm a marathoner, cyclist, and a trail runner. The way Yoli got introduced to me, it was introduced to me by my sister, Maria. She would bring friends over and showed her friends the product because she had gotten some great results from Yoli. I at the time did not want to have anything to do with a company like this because I felt like I didn't need to lose weight because I was already being very active within my lifestyle. However, when I did see that her medical reports came out to be very positive and really inspiring, I had to look into it. I was very excited to realize that Yoli provided pH support. And to me as a runner, that's very important. So I looked into it and I totally had to get on it. As a marathoner, my main concern was pain and just losing stubborn weight. Thankfully, Yoli showed me how to eat properly. And with the supplementation that I was able to get, I was able to be in a better state physically and mentally. Throughout the years, I ran so many marathons. So you would imagine how my body at this point would be. But thankfully, I found the solution that helped me through all the rest of the marathons that I have been going through. I think to me, it's very important that you have something that's going to help you and just to go on your daily life. A lot of people come to me and ask me, what can I do? What are the steps that I can take in starting a running program? And I normally tell them to go to the basics. First of all, you're going to have to get the proper shoes. I always tell them, go to your local running store and they will fit you for the specific shoes that you need for yourself, for you to have a successful career in running. I also tell them, running is good for your health. It's good for your overall health improvement. I encourage all of you guys, if possible, to go out for a run, jog, walk for 20 to 30 minutes a day. That would be very helpful for you guys to incorporate that into a routine of possibly doing like a 5K or a 10K. There's a few of you on Instagram or social media that has asked me, is it hard to run a 5K or 10K? Of course, it's going to be hard if you don't obviously prepare for it. But I can guarantee you that if you do small steps daily, you'll eventually be able to run a marathon. I've ran marathons for 15 years, like I said, so I've ran so many of them. And I think I also would like to say that the point of our challenge is to keep moving. So, incorporate yoga, aerobics, even gardening, just keeping yourself moving. And hopefully, you guys will continue to stay on the challenge. And hopefully, if you guys need any advice or information, please feel free to reach out to me, and I'll do my best to help you guys. Shar, if you want to take it from here.
Sure. I have a couple of questions for you, if you wouldn't mind answering some questions.
Sure.
So I did a half marathon for my first time. It was a couple years back, but I remember hitting those like really hard walls where I'm like, I cannot go anymore. Tell us about a time when you felt like you couldn't go on anymore, and what did you tell yourself mentally, or how have you trained yourself mentally to move through that space?
Well, you will reach that point several times, and I've actually gotten to that point several times. My goal is always to beat my past times. So anytime I hit the wall, I got to think to myself the reason why I'm doing it. And the reason, most of the times that I'm doing it either for charity or I'm doing it because I promised somebody that I was going to run for them. So always have that in the thought in your mind saying, we're doing it for this reason. And that'll get you through the extra miles that you could possibly, it's always good to have a reason to run. It's always fun to run for fun. But if you have a reason to run for a charity or something, then it pulls something else, more energy and more love within you to complete that marathon. So to me, I always want to do it for a purpose versus just running just because to run. So that's how I usually get through my challenges.
That's awesome. How do you keep motivated well, you kind of already answered this, but what would you say is something that keeps you going? Why is it that, explain to us like the feeling that you personally get from moving your body. And was there a time that you remember when you weren't as active, and comparing those two states of mind? I'm sure the latter is way better with movement, but talk to us a little bit about before you got started, how you were feeling, and what's going on now mentally for you.
Well, Shara, it's interesting that you asked me that, because the reason why I started running years ago was because I really went through some depression time in my life. So that really helped me. Running really helped me escape my sadness or just the drama that I was going at that time. So with running, I always felt like I can do anything I want, because I would run 6 miles, but then before you know it, I was running 8, and then I would push myself to run 10 without even knowing that I was running that much, because there was so much going on in my mind. But through running, it had helped me. It's made me feel much better about myself, and it has helped me ease my pain that I was going through within that time. And a lot of times I speak to my friends, and a lot of people are in depression, and I tell them, you need to run. Go run. That's the best medicine you can give yourself in depression, or when you're feeling sad, or when something's going on in your mind. Just run. That alone will be the medicine to help you relieve that stress. And it does make you feel good. So that's the reason why I started running, really, because of the depression.
Oh man, that's so great to hear, just how you were able to overcome that, and that you're in a much better state of mind right now because you chose that for yourself and you made small decisions, I'm imagining. And is there a lot of people in your world, a lot of friends that you see that you run with, that tend to overcomplicate it with the supplements? And have you tried alternative supplements? I know you're an avid fan of Yoli, but there's a lot of junk out there. Talk to me about some things that you've seen that just haven't been successful for folks out there.
Well, I can tell you for one thing, I had been with 2 different other companies that were supporting my running career, and they had great products. A lot of the times, to be honest with you, I had no clue what I was putting in my body. I knew it made me feel good to a certain extent, but then again, the ingredients, I had no clue what I was drinking. So to me, after a while, I started feeling sick, and I started feeling like something was going on in my body, which was not normal. So I decided to stop using other products and just go normal, just regular water, regular food, not taking anything for about a year until I got introduced to Yoli. As soon as I started using the products with Yoli, I felt so much better. My energy was off the roof. My focus was much more there. And because of that, I started sharing it with my running community. Yes, we have a huge running community here in LA, which a few of them are already doing Yoli with me. And they've seen nothing but positive results. They love the product. As runners, they all experience the same that I'm experiencing. So when I tell them about Yoli, they're so excited to get on the product that the results are just amazing. After a week or two, they tell me how good they feel. And I know that was a purpose for me to tell them, and to hopefully, improve their life and improve their health, if anything, because they stopped taking whatever they were taking, and now they're taking something much more better for them and much more natural for them. So I think that's a great thing that I was able to show that to my running community here in LA.
Well, thank you so much for sharing those stories and being so vulnerable with us. I know that is always a challenge. And one of my favorite things to communicate to folks is the more vulnerable you are with someone, the more vulnerable they will be with you. It's an invitation. So love your spirit, Tony. Keep it up. We can't wait to see where you go from here. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. I'm going to introduce our next guest. Deacon Andrews, he is a master trainer, and he's with Sisu Strong. I'm sure he'll tell us a little bit more about what that means, but he's a good friend of mine. He was actually we we got introduced through a mutual friend, and I started training with him. And I was going through a really, really bad time in my life. I was going through a divorce. And so I was learning how to train my mind to move my body for me and do the things that I wanted to do for me and not for my partner or anyone else in my life. And so I started training in a completely different way. So when I first met Deacon, I was totally expecting him to just kill me so that I could lose weight quickly, or do all these crazy exercises so that I could just boost my metabolism or whatever. But when I met him, it was way more mental than it was physical, and he was able to show me a completely new way of training. And he'll probably kill me for this, but he trains tons of celebrities, tons of athletes. He lives here in Utah in Park City. And the reason why I asked him to come on tonight, he's a friend of Yoli, and he also has been social distance training for years from his home, programming routines for his clients and his friends and family. And so he's kind of an expert on social distance training. And I thought he would be a great guest to bring on to give us some tips and tricks on slowly moving our bodies from home. You may not have a gym yet. You may be just starting where you are with small weights you have around the house, or you could have nothing. So I thought he would be a great resource. So if you have any specific training questions for him as I introduce him, feel free to drop it in the comments. But I'm really excited for him to join us. And I'd love for him to also tell us some questions that you always get, Deacon, like what are some common questions that you get from people that are just getting started with weight training? And then I'd love to hear the answers to maybe some of those. But without further ado, I'm going to introduce Deacon Andrews with Sisu Strong. Thanks for joining us so much tonight, Deacon. Appreciate it.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? One, I am honored to be here. The stories that you guys have heard and the testimonies that you guys have heard leading up to this really are inspiring to me, and it's just, I'm very grateful to be accompanied with like Angie and Tony, and just very bluntly, Charlene and I met a few years ago. And as she mentioned where she was in her life, I was actually in my really, really bad spot. I was also going through a divorce, and I identified this as this strong military man, and I was emotionally just devastated and really struggling a lot with PTSD and depression, and a lot of things that I just didn't really understand how to comprehend. Like physically, I knew how to fix my body. I've suffered 2 broken backs. I think I'm sitting around 27 broken bones, countless surgeries. And I knew how to heal my body, but one of the biggest things I didn't really understand was how to heal my mind, and my heart, and just those pieces of it all. So Angie and Tony's stories are incredibly inspiring to me. If you hear the growling in the background, I have a puppy. I did the Corona puppy. So Bruce is back here, and maybe she's always a girl named Bruce, who's always very quiet until I start doing these things. But one of the things that the last 2 years has been about for me was really revamping my approach to training. And I worked with elite Olympic level professional level athletes, and then realizing that there were so many people who were like me, who were just struggling and just wanted to get out and live and survive. Never had any idea that when I changed that 2 years ago that we were going to have an experience like this with the pandemic. But my program was built around remote training, clients that I wasn't with, because ultimately I wanted to spend more time with my daughter. Because at the time when I was really struggling, that was one of the things that I knew I couldn't quit, and because of my daughter. I had to figure it out. I had to struggle through it and keep stepping forward because of my daughter. I didn't ever want her to feel like she wasn't enough for me to survive this world. And I think one of the biggest things that we see is that depression is something that's largely unspoken about. It's kind of the taboo subject, and I just don't think it should be. One of the things that I know I'm not your typical man that is going to sit here and openly say I struggle with depression, but I do. And I have been very grateful for the platform that I have been able to have to be open to discuss that, and the conversations that I've gotten to have with that. With that being said, as a strength and conditioning coach whose job centers around the gym, one of the things that I truly believe is the most valuable piece is what Tony said, and a lot of stuff that Angie said, is just getting out and moving, get outside. So everything that I do with most of my clients, I actually stopped training professional worker outers. I used to train professional CrossFitters, power lifters, people that wanted to perform in the gym. But I stopped relating to that and kind of recentered my focus around people like me that were struggling with life, but just wanted to live life better and be outside. So the whole program that I kind of created was built around maximizing minimal time in the gym to play longer and harder and feel better outside of the gym. So guys like Tony, and just, we don't want to live in the gym. I don't want to live in the gym. I actually have a facility now that is about 8,000 feet here in Park City that is 80% outdoors, and it's the best thing ever. And it's just kind of a happy place. So the biggest thing that so Char asked about questions is, well, we get stuck in, I've got to have the perfect scenario. And Angie hit on this. 10 minutes. So we have a push-up challenge coming out to you guys this week. So I'm going to give you guys a few tips on that. And one of the biggest things is, like Angie was talking about with her shoulders and things for her life, the gym and working out should never take away from your life. If I was working with Angie or anybody like I would want to make sure that she can maximize her time in her career and still get all the benefits she wants from the gym and from training. And I'd never want to take away from a run with Tony, because ultimately what he does, running is the most valuable thing, but I want to maximize his time running. So my whole goal is to help people move better and feel better to, again, like I said, play harder. So we have our push-up challenge. So one of the biggest things is, we all know that on the front side of our body, we see this. This is the look good side. This is what we see in the mirror. And ultimately, yeah, like that's what we want to look good. And I absolutely understand that we want to look good and feel good. And I think they go hand in hand, but I really like to approach the feel good and move better side first. The back side, everything back here. This is called the posterior chain. So everything from the shoulders down to the calves, the feet, the heels, that's the engine of it all. Those are the big muscles. So we have the look good, but this is the feel good stuff back here. So as you guys are going into your push-up challenge this week, here's the goal, is go through push-ups. And one, we don't want to, and we're going to go over a little bit of technique here in a second, but don't ever go to failure. Don't do them. You always stop 3 to 4 reps shy of, like, I think I could do 3 or 4 more. Stop, rest a second, and then do more. And so I hate resting. I am ADD as they come. I love to move. I love to go. But again, tired is not a sign of effective. I can make people tired. So like Charlene talked about when she came to work with me, it's very easy to make someone tired, but I wanted to help her feel better. And again, we always want to achieve the training goals, whatever that may be. So that's a huge piece of it. But we have to address the feel good part first. The mental piece of it is getting the body to feel better so we can work harder. So again, with the push-ups, we want to move well. We don't want to hurt our shoulders. So Angie, here we're going to have some push-up tips for you. and pulling things. But the biggest thing is right now we know that we are way more sedentary in our lifestyle than we typically are because of everything going on. Even I am. I live on 10 acres out in the middle of kind of nowhere. And even I have spent way more time on my computer because I've been coaching way more remotely than I have in the past. So what happens is we get this closed off portion. We get tight through here. So we've got to pull these shoulders back and get that back strong and open. One of the other massive components of that is the glutes. So not only do our glutes massively help in posture and keeping back health and core strong, but a strong glute, strong butt looks good too, and that's a huge piece of it for us. So we're gonna give you guys a little bit of a tweak here on the push-up challenge for 3 movements. Push-ups. Whatever your push-up variation may be, just a little bit here. We're gonna start with a chair variation here. And I'm gonna give you guys a few angles to see this. But one of the biggest things is whether you do it on the floor or a regular push-up on the chair, we want to be pulling our elbows at about 45 degrees. We don't want to be out here. When we're out here, all the pressure is on our front of our shoulders, and now we are making the push-up a shoulder dominant movement. We want the push-up to be a glute dominant chest and back movement. So I am here. And I'm thinking about pulling myself to the chair. Elbows are about 45 degrees and pushing back up. Just so you guys can see a different angle. Pulling down my butt. I'm flexing my glutes, keeping the glute really tight. That's the focus point. Down and up. So during the push-up, I'm actually thinking about pulling myself down. So if you can do 10 great push-ups and you know you can do that, I want you to stop at 6. And then you're going to put your shoulders on the chair. Going to come down, drive the glutes up, flexing the glute. If you have a puppy, it really helps for the functional fitness side of it. I also want you to make a fist. I want you to squeeze at about 80% effort here. That's going to tighten your core. I'm just going to go through 10 to 15 reps there, building the glute. And then you're going to grab a towel. You're going to bend over about 45 degrees. You're trying to rip the towel in half. So I'm pulling it apart right here. I'm trying to split the floor apart between my feet as well. So I'm creating tension there. That's engaging the glute and the core. Now I'm here. I'm pulling nice and slow. Going through 10 reps there. When you create tension with that towel, you're basically adding resistance and force. So the way that you're going to go through this for your push-up challenge, and obviously you can adapt it however you want, but to give yourself some rest, you're going to do whatever your push-up range is, stopping 3 to 4 reps shy of failure, go through 10 glute bridges, and then 10 towel rows. Then go back to the push-ups. You're going to do that circuit for 10 to 15 minutes, as many times as you can, focusing on good technique and never going to failure. So it's good technique, knocking it out and going through it. That is my suggestion for the push-up challenge. If you guys have any questions at all about movement going through, hit me up. Char, another big question I get asked is low back pain. So one of the big pieces of that is during this time, obviously, what are we doing? We are seated a lot more. Low back gets tight because all of this hamstring is tight, and it's tight because it's stretched all the way out. This right here is shortened. So this is what we need to stretch. If you find yourself really struggling with some low back issues and just in general throughout this time more so, or just in general at all. It's the most common thing we hear. One, we want to open the chest up, get the back stronger, be in a good position, but we want to stretch out this hip flexor. So you're going to be here, stretching the quad and the hip flexor out, really focusing on tightening your glute right here, holding that for about 5 to 10 seconds, relaxing, releasing, coming back through 5 to 10 seconds, maximizing opening this up right here. Then you'll go back into your glute bridge. So we have opened this piece that is shortened, and now we're going into activating the glute. And so it's pulling our hips back to neutral. Because again, the reason this all feels tight is because this is shortened, so it pulls our hips forward. And this is tight because it's stretched all the way out. So we don't want to stretch back here. We want to tighten that and shorten it and stretch up here in the front. It was really quick, really fast, but hopefully that helps you guys. And please hit us up with any other questions. Char, back to you.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Deacon, for showing us those movements. So for those of you who are new to Yoli, we do a lot of events and training throughout the country and even the world. And whenever I travel, I seriously think of Deacon all of the time. When I'm sitting on an airplane, I'm like, okay, hip flexors, glutes. And because I would stretch, right, thinking that I was tight, but it really wasn't that. It was because they were stretched. So I'm so glad you showed that. I'm always in the hotel gyms, like doing these little dead bugs, and maybe we'll have Deacon back on and he can show us some more tips and tricks because he's phenomenal at getting the muscle groups in the right place so that you can see results. So we'll definitely have Deacon on again. Just really appreciate him jumping on and also being vulnerable and sharing what it was like for him to go through that mental challenge and then still come out the other side because of movement and the therapy that provides for us all. So one of my favorite quotes is, work out because you love your body, not because you hate your body. So it's never a good place to start with working out by saying, I hate the way I look, and that's why I'm going to work out. You work out and you take care of yourself because, guys, we love ourselves. We take care of ourselves with these amazing products. We take care of ourselves using the Better Mind, Better Body program. If you haven't heard about that, jump on yoli.com/BMBB for Yoli Better Mind, Better Body. So that's yoli.com/BMBB. So that's a super cool program that's going to help you connect the mental to the physical. And many of you have done that program. Go ahead and comment below with what your favorite thing is from BMBB that you've connected the physical and the mental. I would love to hear that. So again, guys, start out slow. We work out and we move because we love our bodies, and start where you are. If that means challenging yourself a little bit more, pushing yourself harder, or just getting off the couch. I know that I've been working way more hours than I normally would in the office, and I forget to move. So set an alarm, get an accountability buddy. That's what this page is here for, this Yoli Better Body page here on Facebook. It's here to help motivate and support you. And join on this challenge, guys. It's going to be super fun. We're going to go through some other things too in the next couple of weeks that have nothing to do with movement and everything to do with our mental health and our healthy habits. So thanks for joining us tonight, guys. What a rock star lineup we had. And thanks for bearing with us. We're on a new platform, which we're really excited about. And we hope to see you back here very soon. So thanks to all of our guests. Deacon is tagged in this, Angie, Tony. I'm sure they would love to answer any questions that you have on this thread here. So drop it below, and we'll see you very soon, Yoli Nation. Thanks for joining us.